Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another requested deck, and today we're looking at Tovolar Dire Overlord, 1 red and green for a 3/3 human werewolf. This is from, if I remember correctly, Midnight Hunt from back in the day, and I don't think I've ever covered this before on the channel. Well, I haven't, so I checked, so here we go. Tovolar has, whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So that's quite nice. Red-green card draw. Yeah, fine. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves or werewolves, it becomes night and then transform any number of human werewolves you control. Daybound. Yeah, we all know it's daybound, nightbound. When he transforms, he becomes the Midnight Scourge. Whenever a werewolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Again, yeah. And then you get to do the whole Keswick wolf run bit. Green and red and X, target wolf or werewolf you control gets +X/+0 until the end of turn and gains trample. Until the end of turn, obviously. Yeah, an interesting one. I had someone ask me by the name of Grimwolf93 to cover this, so here you go, Grimwolf. Here's my take on it. I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. So we have a lot of werewolves, as you can imagine, and wolves. So Ascendant Pack Leaders here. Enters with a +1/+1 counter on if you control a permanent with mana value 4 or greater, and when if you cast anything with mana value 4 or more, you get an extra +1/+1. Hinterland Logger, one of the ones at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, you get to transform it. So it's a 2/1 that becomes a 4/2 when it gets transformed, and then goes back in if someone casts 2 or more spells. So these are not the daybound, nightbound ones, these are based on the spell ones. So we've got a mixed match of the werewolves. I know it caused a lot of confusion when this first happened, when Wizards changed how the werewolves worked, but you know, daybound, nightbound, and then double spell triggers. Yeah, okay, we'll just play around with it. Because I'll be playing this on MTGO, I haven't got to worry about it. MTGO will just do it for me. In paper, a little bit more complicated. Keswick Forge Master, another one that flips with spells being cast, is blocked or becomes blocked, deals 1 damage to that creature, and then it deals 2 damage and becomes a 3/2 when you get to flip it. The Keswick Naturalist does the whole daybound, nightbound. Whenever the Naturalist attacks, add red or green until the end of the turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end, and then when it flips, your wolves and your werewolves get a little bit of a glorious anthem, and it attacks, you get to add a red and green again. So yeah, that's fine. +1/+1 can help. Mayor of Averbrook. Oh, one thing I should say, the daybound, nightbound. If you cast these creatures and it is night, they come in flipped. So if you've got a night situation going on, this will come in as the Lord of Overworld, just so we're clear. Mayor of Ravenbrook is based on the spells again, gives all our humans +1/+1, and when it flips it gives all our werewolves and wolf creatures, other werewolves and wolf creatures +1/+1. At the end of the end step you get a 2/2 green wolf token. So yeah, a little bit of power coming in from the Mayor here. Breakneck Rider just flips around between a 3/3 and a 4/3, and when it's the 4/3 side, gives all our attacking creatures +1 and trample. Cemetery Prowler comes into play, exile or attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature, each card type exiled by the Cemetery Prowler. While the Cemetery Prowler still's in play, but you know, 3/4 wolf for 3 mana, difficult. Conduit of Storms, yeah. Put this in because I quite like it. When it attacks, you get to add a red to your mana pool at the beginning of your next main phase this turn, and then you get to transform it for 2 red and 3 into the Eldrazi werewolf. Yeah, and when it attacks, you get to add double colourless to your mana pool and the beginning of the next main phase. So, not too bad. 2/3 into a 5/4. Yeah, I can cope with that. Hermit of the Natanolls. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during our turn, we get to draw a card, and then when it flips, whenever an opponent casts a spell during our turn, we get to draw 2 cards. A little bit of card draw can't help anybody. Howlpack Wolf can't block unless you control another wolf or werewolf, so it's 3/3 that just attacks. Immerwolf intimidates, can't be blocked except by artifact creatures or creatures that share a colour with it. Gives all our wolf and werewolf creatures +1/+1, and then non-human werewolves you control can't transform. From my understanding, and I've got this right, I did double check it, I think I understood it correctly. basically everyone will be stuck in the Nightbound side of it, or doesn't matter if they cast more spells, you can't transform them back into humans while the Inner Wolf's in play. I think I've got it right. I hope, otherwise I've just made a complete fool of myself on a video forever. Anyway, Croon Outlaw, first strike 2/2, and then when it flips it becomes a double strike, and each werewolf you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, so kind of a menacey type thing happening. Reckless Stormseeker, on combat on your turn, target creature gets +1 in haste, and then beginning of combat when we flip it, gets +2/+0 against trample and haste, which is even better. Silverfur Partisan, whenever a wolf or werewolf you control becomes the target of an instant sorcery, you get a 2/2 wolf creature token. So, targeted removal makes it a little bit irrelevant sometimes. Spirit of the Hunt enters the battlefield. Each other creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf gets a massive toughness boost, so you can probably save a lot of your creatures unless you're being blocked by something with Death Touch. Ulrich's Kindred, target wolf or werewolf gains indestructible, and this has trample. Child of the Pack, create a wolf and other creatures you control get +1/+0 when it's flipped. Hunt Master of the Fells, the one that was really expensive back in the day. I think it's still quite expensive nowadays, but whenever this creature enters or transforms into the Hunt Master, you get 2/2 wolf green wolf token, you gain 2 life. And then the Ravager of the Fells, whenever this transforms into the Ravager of the Fells, deal 2 damage to an opponent and up to 2 damage up to a target creature that a player controls. Not the best in Commander, but hey, you have to include it. It's just such great artwork. It's one of my favourite bits of artwork for the wolves ever. Ill-Tempered Loner, dealt that much damage to any target. Same if it flips. Whenever a permanent you control is dealt damage, the Avenger deals that much damage to any target, and you can pump it up basically. Advanced Fire Breathing. Instigated Pact gives all our attacking creatures +1/+0 when it's the human side. When it's the werewolf side, it gets +3/+0. Night Pack Ambusher Flash pumps all our creatures, wolves and werewolves up by +1/+1, and at the beginning of the end step, if you didn't cast a spell this turn, we get a 2/2 green wolf creature token. Only in our turn though, if we skip casting anything. Roaming Throne, choose the werewolf, and then if a triggered ability of the creature you control of a chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Yeah. Somber World Alpha, whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until the end turn. Gatstaff Arsonist becomes a menacing 6/5 when it transforms. Sage of Ancient Lore, power and toughness equal number of cards in our hand. When it enters, we draw a card, and then when we flip it, its power and toughness becomes equal to the total number of cards in all players' hands. It has vigilance and trample, so it becomes a real big threat real quickly. Ulrich of the Krallen Horde, when this creature enters the battlefield and transforms, target creature gets +4/+4, and then whenever this creature transforms into the uncontested alpha, you may have it fight non-target werewolf creature you don't control. Volatile Arsonist, going to the end, attacks 1 damage to target creature up to 1 target player and up to 1 target planeswalker, and then 2 if it's flipped. Overbrook Caretaker, one of the werewolves you do want to keep around as much as possible. Chucks around +1/+1 counters when it's the human side, so you get 2 on 1 creature. But if you get it flipped, it has hexproof, everything else has hexproof, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. One thing I will say, when they are transformed between the two, they do keep the +1/+1 counter, so you always get that permanent buff. But if you can keep Hollow Henge Hunt Master up as much as possible, you're going to be very, very happy. Hollow Henge Overlord, however, at the beginning of your upkeep, for each creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf, you get a 2/2 green wolf creature wolf token. Stupid card. Very stupid card, very good card, keep it around as much as possible. And then Tovolar's Hunt Master comes into play. It's a bit like a green version of the Black Titan. Comes into play with 2 green wolf tokens, and then when the pack leader enters, you get another 2 wolf tokens, and you have double 2 and 2 green to fight, so wolves can fight other creatures. Fun. So that's the werewolves. A lot of talking, sorry, we'll go a bit quicker now. Planeswalkers, Domri, Anarch of Breach, pump all the creatures up, add some mana, and then we can do some fighting if we need to. We had to have Arlen called around for this because she's the werewolf commander at the end of the day. One creature gets +2/+2 and gains haste, or you can have a 2/2 wolf creature token and transform Arlen, which then transforms into pumping all our creatures up, dealing some damage. Or eventually, if we can get to the -6, which would be fantastic, creatures you control have haste, and tap this creature deals damage equal to its power to target player or creature. Yeah, if we can get this flipped and get this emblem out, we're away, basically. Arlen, the Pack's Hope, is also in as well. It's day-bound, night-bound, flips around based on that side of it. +1 to get your next cast, you'll make a creature spell so it had flash, and then each creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. When it flips though, -3 to get a couple of wolf tokens is okay if you're desperate, but hopefully you won't be desperate and you'll be able to do the +1, which is a lot better. Once we can get this flipped to Nightbound, +2, add a whole load of red, add 1 red, 1 green, and then 0 until the end of the turn. Arlen becomes a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste. Nice. Domri, Chaosbringer, black and green, sorry, no black involved in this. Red and green mana can be added to give something riot, so haste or +1/+1 counter, find something from the top of your library, or the emblem at the beginning of each end step, create a 4/4 red and green beast creature token with trample. Getting this to -8 is very difficult, but it can be done. The other version of Arlen, each creature you control that's over a wolf or werewolf enters with an additional +1/+1 on it, and then -2 to get a wolf creature token. Fine. And Domri, City Smasher, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste until the end of turn. I like this version of Domri. -3 to lightning bolt anything, and then -8, put 3 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. They get trampled until the end of turn. The +2, I built a whole deck around and won a lot of Magic tournaments back in the day with this, because this was one of the additional planeswalkers that was still legal and standard, and giving all your creatures +1/+1 and giving them haste really did upset people, so I included it here for a bit of fun. Ramp wise, Nature's Law, Ramping Growth, 3 visits, Cultivate, Board Control with Chain Reaction, Ranger's Path, and Skyshroud Claim to go and get forests out, and Blasphemous Axe for more board control. I'm speeding up now, seeing how long this video is, sorry. Artifacts, Elixir of Immortality, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, one of each medallion, Talisman of Impulse, Thought Vessel, Icon of Ancestry, choosing werewolves, and so we can control the day and night. Yeah, the Celestis is here. Why not? Might as well have this in, mightn't we? Enchantments wise, Hunter's Talent comes in so we can do a bit of damage dealing, and then whenever we attack we can get +1/+0 and trample to a creature, and then if we've got a creature that controls 4 more we get to draw a card once we get all the way up to level 3. Innkeeper's Talent for all the +1/+1 counters and the wards we can hopefully chuck around with this. Beastmaster's Ascension means once we get 7 counters on here, all of our creatures are humongous, because they all get +5/+5. Fires the Yavimar gives everything haste. The Growing Rights of Itlamok do our cheap version of Gaze Cradle and gets us a creature in our hand when we play it. Rhythm of the Wild does the whole, means our creature spells can't be countered, which is nice. And then non-token creatures have riot, so you get +1/+1 counter on haste on them. If you have this and the fires in play, this is always the +1/+1 counter because you're getting the haste from here, just to point it out. Shared Animosity I put in for a real laugh, because everything is a wolf or werewolf, attacking and pumping them up that hard is ridiculous. Guardian Project keeps a card draw coming, and then Unnatural Growth to double up the power and toughness of all our creatures. Yeah, that's just silly, and it works really, really, really well. Beyond that, red and green lands, nothing too fancy that you wouldn't have expected to me having here. There is a lot of forest, there are a lot of mountains. You can cut them down if you want to play more of the off-colour lands. I just went with the pure this way. You have Myers here as well, hence why less forests, more mountains from the basic point of view. And that's it. That's my slightly longer take on Tovolar than I really want to talk about. It's because I want to go through all the werewolves. There's a lot of flippy ones and complications there, so sorry if this has been a long video today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you think there's anything I've missed out. I will, next week, Duskmorn will be looked at in a little bit more depth, and some of the cards come out there. I've already had a couple of requests for decks people want me to see already, so dust them all for the next few weeks. But if you do want to see one of the older legendary creatures that I haven't covered here on the YouTube channel, please let me know. Come and see me on the stream down below on Twitch when I'm streaming on a Thursday night or Sunday afternoon UK time. Come and leave me a message saying, can you cover this? I will pick up on it. Or leave me a comment on one of the videos and say, I really like to see you do this one. I know I've realised that someone's already asked me to do Muldrotha, because for some reason I've played Muldrotha a lot. I've never covered it on the YouTube, so I'll try and squeeze Muldrotha in sometime next week. But for now, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the videos this week. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, come and follow me on Twitch, and yeah, I'll see you soon back on YouTube or on my Twitch channel when I'm streaming. Take care, see you soon, bye.